My girlfriend of 3 years returned the engagement ring because she didn't like where I proposed. I decided to propose to my GF of 3 years on our 3rd anniversary. I flew her to Vietnam, and after a couple of weeks traveling we ended up in Cambodia. She had wanted to see Angkor Wat and some other temples that were on her bucket list. After a long day of hiking in the heat through ruins we retired back to our hotel, and when we were alone together I proposed, and she said yes. We kissed and I had planned to take her to the waterfall the next day to celebrate. It's really beautiful. She took a shower, and I laid in bed thinking, what an amazing day I just had, and how I would get to spend the rest of my life with a woman I loved. When she came out of the shower however she was in tears. She handed me back the ring saying she couldn't accept it because she didn't want her memory of my proposal to be in a hotel room. I played it cool and said I understood, but truthfully it hurt. It seems to me that I had offered her something of value. A lifelong commitment and partner. I took her halfway around the world and helped her cross off something she had wanted to do most of her adult life. I felt that if she valued me, it wouldn't matter that the proposal wasn't exactly what she wanted. It was me and our future together she was saying yes to, and not my delivery. If she had found $1 million in a dumpster she wouldn't throw it back because of where it came from. So she can't possibly value me or what I have to offer as an individual if she's willing to reject it because she didn't like the place I asked. I'm preparing to end things when we get back. She wants me to propose again and better, and then she'll say yes, but I'm done. Am I wrong? Should I do it over? What do you think? Any advice is appreciated. Update to the story. Hi and thanks for all the comments and help. I ended up following the advice of one of the commenters. The conversation with my girlfriend went something like this. Me, no, that was my proposal. You rejected it. It's never going to happen again. GF. So we aren't getting married? You aren't going to propose, ever? Me, no, never. I'm glad you were the one I proposed to, and I'm happy that I found the courage to take that step and make such a huge commitment. But no, it was a one-time thing. If you want to marry me, you'll have to propose. I decided to see how things went and planned to give her till my birthday, July, to make her proposal or I would end it and move on. She did while we were hiking a trail back home. I accepted. That's it for now. Am I making a huge mistake? Maybe. I'll get a prenup of course and protect my assets. If it ends it won't cost me more than a few hundred. Hopefully, I get many happy years from this. If not, I'll update the post. Also, thanks for all the comments and support. Weird how much that meant. I also genuinely appreciated the people that objected to me ending things. It's the internet, so I expect to hear nothing but her. Getting another more reasonable side to things was helpful. Reddit comments. I shared this story with my fiancé, and he had some smart input on this. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, but I would tell her that's my proposal. If she wants to get married, then it's on her. She can propose at any time, but I wouldn't do it again. We are both sorry you're in this situation now. It shows shallowness on her part. Hopefully she is mature enough to see the error of her judgment. Good luck. I ran over a possum the night I'd proposed. Blood all over the car. It was a long night. Everywhere I went to propose just wasn't working out. Super nice restaurant packed. Couldn't hear each other talk. Mountainside overlooking the river. No moon, super dark, and started to rain. On the way home, like I said, ran over possum, blood all over the passenger side of the car. Went into our at 4 on one knee and proposed. She said yes without hesitating. The possum blood everywhere is her fav part of the story. Doesn't matter the place or time. If she loves you, the answer is yes. Maybe she wants a dinner to tell her family when you get back, that would be acceptable. Returning the ring to you is a bad sign. So my husband did something similar. He proposed in our hotel room on Valentine's Day in Mexico while I was changing into my bathing suit. Sure, I wish it was more romantic back then, but now who cares? His intent was more important, I know now. I would have never made his redo it. So at first glance this seems really entitled. Is this the first hint of this sort of behavior? Any weirdness over gifts etc in the past? If this is a one-off, I'll be frank. She's highly emotional period. She's excited, happy, and then it dawns on her that you planned this amazing trip, you've been to temples, and you plan to go to an amazing waterfall, but for the proposal itself, you did it in quite a neutral or less special place. She wonders why, and she worries it's a lack of consideration. A proposal happens once, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you did have very ideal opportunities. Maybe you wanted it to be really intimate and this is why you chose the room. This is something to tell her. She's behaving like a spoiled child and she's going to regret it. If this is a one-off, I would put it down to high emotions, exhaustion, and confusion. My husband proposed in our messy bedroom on Christmas Day more than a decade ago. I remember feeling like such a pose, because I was so happy, and also so confused, because he knew I had dreamed of being proposed to under a Christmas tree, which was 11 feet away. But I got over those feelings. I understood that as a woman I was raised to expect fairytale perfection. And I realized we had come so close it was perfect. But it did take some processing. Her behavior isn't acceptable. But it doesn't have to be a deal breaker unless you have signs that this is actually a personality flaw. I'm going to skip the proposal part and just say what stuck out to me. You're considering ending it over this, when a week ago you were planning on spending your life with her. If one fight and one shitty behavior on her end takes you from forever to over, it's not a good and healthy relationship and you're unhappy. Personally, I don't think it should matter how a proposal goes. That being said, talk to her. Tell her how your request to do a better proposal made you feel. She may be horrified that she made you feel this way. This is someone you wanted to marry. Give her the benefit of the doubt. How she reacts may give you the answer that you need. I wish that was my proposal story. Know how my husband popped the question. I picked him up from his 3 months at sea, Navy. He got a hard on as soon as he got in the car, put my hand on his crotch and said, "Let's get married." Yay, every girl's dream proposal. I tried to be romantic and filled the living room of our townhouse with candles while she was away for the weekend with her sister. Pre-planned. I lit them when I knew she would be home soon. I had champagne etc. But the candles were tea lights that had been recalled due to the wax having the ability to catch fire without the wick. She walked into me in full panic mode, putting out not only candles, but also our living room carpet and coffee table. It was a disaster. She said yes, and we still laugh about it. Let me guess. She's active on social media and wants a nice story to share with maybe someone taking the photo of the proposal etc. This girl doesn't want to be happy. She wants to look happy. She cares more about social media happy than actual happiness. You don't want that. My husband still lived with his parents, and they were out of town. He and I were hanging out, watching TV before I had to work third shift. I told him I had to go, or I was going to be late, and he asked me to hang on. He went out to the kitchen and apparently grabbed the box with miring in it, and I followed a few seconds later. When he opened the box and held it out to me, I got teary-eyed and waited. After a few seconds of awkward silence, which honestly felt like a lifetime, he goes, "Well, do you want it?" I exclaimed, "You have to ask." And he finally did. I had time to give him a hug and a kiss before I had to leave for work. Lol, we had been dating for 7 years, mostly as teens, and had a 1-year-old. We have been married for 10.5 years, and he still hasn't lived it down. But, bottom line, I love him, and I know he loves me. I know he had grander plans, but it wouldn't have surprised me as much as that private quick little stunt did. I knew we were going to be getting engaged soon, and any grand gesture would have given the surprise away. Anyway, all that to say, there's no right way to propose. If she can't appreciate what your proposal meant, just because it took place in a hotel room, she doesn't really care at all. You have it right here. I'm sorry it didn't work out the way you hoped. There's a girl out there who won't care if you propose in a mud puddle. She will just care that she gets to spend the rest of her life with you. Comment and subscribe.